Welcome to Scoreflow. Liverpool entered 24-25 with one huge question hanging over Anfield. After Klopp, could Arne Slot keep Liverpool's edge while turning the noise into control? Today, we revisit Liverpool's 24-25 campaign and the turns that made that succession feel far less impossible than it first sounded. A steady start to the campaign as Liverpool won 2-0 at Portman Road, Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah striking after the break. Luis Diaz set the tone and Salah settled it as Liverpool made it 2 wins from 2 with a measured 2-0 at Anfield. At Old Trafford, Diaz's first half brace and a Salah finish powered a controlled 3-0 takedown to keep the early surge rolling. Back at Anfield after that Old Trafford statement, Liverpool couldn't find the gears in a 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest. In their first European outing at the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza, an early setback was overturned as Konate, Van Dijk and Szoboszlai completed a 3-1 comeback. Diaz at the double and Nunez added the gloss as a professional 3-0 at Anfield followed the midweek European lift. Cup duties at Anfield saw an early own goal overcome as Jota and Gakpo each struck twice in a 5-1 win that booked the round of 16. Konate and a Salah penalty secured a 2-1 at Molineux, keeping the league rhythm after the cup cruise. Back under the Anfield lights, McAllister and Salah delivered a tidy 2-0 over Bologna in the Champions League. Diogo Jota nipped the points with an early strike as a workmanlike 1-0 at Selhurst Park followed the European high. Salah's penalty and a Jones reply to Jackson's leveller edged a composed 2-1 against Chelsea at Anfield to keep the run going. In Leipzig, Nunez settled a tight Champions League tie with a first-half winner for 1-0. A big one at the Emirates ended 2-2, Van Dijk's opener and Salah's late equaliser answering Arsenal's strikes. Gakpo's brace and a late Diaz decider clinched a 3-2 at Brighton to reach the quarter-finals. After falling behind, Gakpo and Salah turned it around in 2 second-half minutes for a 2-1 win at Anfield. Anfield roared as Diaz hit a hat-trick and Gakpo struck in a commanding 4-0 over Leverkusen on a big Champions League night. Nunez set the platform and Salah sealed it, 2-0 against Villa, with Mo reaching double figures in all competitions. Salah's brace, including a late penalty, completed a 3-2 fight back at St Mary's to keep top spot tempo. Against Real Madrid, McAllister and Gakpo scored for a composed 2-0, making it 5 straight in Europe at Anfield. Gakpo struck early and Salah's penalty secured a controlled 2-0 over Manchester City at Anfield. A breathless night at St James Park finished 3-3, Salah's double not quite enough after a stoppage time sting. The European rhythm resumed in Catalonia, Salah's penalty deciding a compact 1-0 at Girona. Back at Anfield, Liverpool twice trailed and needed Gakpo's reply plus a late Jota equaliser to draw 2-2 with Fulham. At St Mary's, Nunez and Elliott did the damage for a 2-1 that sent Liverpool into the semi-finals. A wild one in North London ended 6-3 to Liverpool, with Diaz and Salah both scoring twice in a statement over Spurs. After the Spurs fireworks, Liverpool came from behind to beat Leicester 3-1 at Anfield, Gakpo levelling before Jones and Salah finished it. Clinical on the road, Liverpool swept West Ham 5-0 as 5 different scorers shared the load and Salah hit 20 in all competitions. Anfield's derby of giants finished 2-2, Gakpo and a Salah penalty answered by Martinez and Diallo as the unbeaten league run hit 15. In a tense semi-final first leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a late concession meant a 1-0 defeat to Spurs. Anfield's FA Cup tie brought a clean 4-0 over Accrington Stanley, with late strikes adding sheen to safe progress. At the City Ground, Diogo Jota's equaliser secured a 1-1 draw that kept the league pace steady. Darwin Núñez stepped up late with a rapid brace to seal a measured 2-0 at Brentford. Salah and Elliott sealed a 2-1 against Lille at Anfield to clinch top spot in the league stage and confirm advancement. Gakpo's double headlined a 4-1 win over Ipswich at Anfield as league business stayed on course after European duties. On the final night of the league stage, Liverpool fell 3-2 at PSV despite goals from Gakpo and Elliott. Salah answered with a brace, one from the spot, to deliver a tidy 2-0 at Bournemouth and move to 21 league goals and 25 in all competitions. Anfield rose to a semi-final surge. Gakpo, Salah, Szoboszlai and Van Dijk sweeping Spurs aside 4-0 to book a place at Wembley. A flat FA Cup night at Home Park brought a 1-0 exit to Plymouth via a second-half penalty. The derby at Goodison ended 2-2, McAllister and Salah on the sheet before a late leveller extended the league unbeaten run to 20. Back at Anfield, Diaz and a Salah penalty secured a 2-1 over Wolves. At Villa Park, Salah and Alexander-Arnold scored in a 2-2 that checked the stride a touch on the road. Liverpool then landed a statement 2-0 at the Etihad, Salah and Szoboszlai striking to beat Manchester City. After that Etihad high, Szoboszlai and McAllister kept it businesslike with a 2-0 over Newcastle at Anfield. Paris felt the tension, and Elliott's late strike made it 1-0 in the first leg at the Parc des Princes. Núñez levelled, and Salah's second-half double, both from the spot, turned it into a 3-1 win over Southampton at Anfield. Anfield's second leg finished 1-0 to Paris, and the tie slipped away on penalties, Liverpool eliminated. At Wembley, the final ended 2-1 to Newcastle. Chia's late reply not enough as the trophy slipped away. Derby Day at Anfield brought a tight 1-0 over Everton. Diogo Jota the difference as the league unbeaten stretch reached 26. The trip to Craven Cottage proved costly. Liverpool beaten 3-2 despite goals from McAllister and Diaz. After a late own goal scare, Van Dijk struck to clinch a 2-1 over West Ham at Anfield and secure Champions League football. On the road again, a composed 1-0 at the King Power, decided by Alexander-Arnold, kept the title push tidy. A rampant 5-1 over Spurs at Anfield, with Diaz, McAllister, Gakpo and Salah on the sheet, plus an own goal, clinched the championship. Stamford Bridge served a reminder. Liverpool beaten 3-1 by Chelsea, with a late penalty adding gloss for the hosts. Back at Anfield, quick-fire goals from Gakpo and Diaz were matched as Arsenal forced a 2-2 draw. In Sussex, Liverpool led twice, but Brighton nicked it late for 3-2. On the final day at Anfield, Salah's late equaliser kept the scoring streak alive as it finished 1-1 against Crystal Palace. Klopp's Liverpool often ran at full volume. Arne Slot's version looked colder and cleaner, still capable of the wild 6-3 at Tottenham, but defined just as much by controlled wins like the 2-0 at the Etihad. The Cups left scars, with Paris ending on penalties and Newcastle spoiling Wembley, yet Liverpool still finished first and sealed the title by thrashing Spurs 5-1. In the end, what looked like an impossible succession came to feel much closer to a perfect transition. Because Slot never tried to copy Klopp, he built a calmer champion, and Salah's 34th goal of the season supplied the final punctuation mark. Thanks for watching Scoreflow. Please like, share and subscribe.